Bricky. Recording in progress. Oh, man. All right. I guess we might as well get right into it.
Yep.
Sixers with a huge win. 104. What was the score? 114, 109, I think it was. Was the score? Yeah, 114, 109. Sixers with a nice solid win with a little bit of depleted Toronto team. If you don't catch the live show, you catch us on our platforms, obviously Spotify, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, iTunes. We got half the show here tonight, but it's going to be a good one. Once again, the best Philadelphia sports content in the area when it comes to Sixers and Eagles talk.
Bar none.
But bar none. Good victory. B played well. They said to put up a stat that was the first Sixer to get 30 points in 6 straight road games since Bubba Chuck. So that's good class to be in. What's up, Fair FLX and RJ Lucas? What do you say? Why do we go away from the high hands? This is annoying. We tend to do that at times, and that's what I was saying before. Remember, if you remember, RJ, I said that before when it came to what player was it? This was a couple games ago. Somebody was hot, and Danny refused. I think it was Maxey. Maxey or somebody. Maybe Maxey is set, and Danny started trying to jack shots, and I'm like, why are we not playing smart? Like, feed the high hand, keep rolling until you get cool. That's what you're supposed to do. So. Yeah. I mean, despite that, we still got the victory. B 11 for 16. This is the type of B I want to see. 11 for 16 from the field. He took his three 3-pointers. That's cool. He was 2 for 3 from 3. That's fine. But the quick, decisive, make a decision, go. What I will say, and Wayne makes this point all the time, B is the most double team big man I think in the league. He probably draws the most double team, second only to Steph Curry. Put that plug out there for my man Steph. But real rap though, every time he get it, the defense collapses every time. But this is why it's so important for him to make fast decisions, so you can get your shot off or get the pass off. Just make it quick. Don't hold it because they're going to corral you, and then after that point, everything's more difficult now. So he made a lot of quick decisions, passing wise, shooting wise, and that to me was the difference in the game because he played definitely outside of Minivan. He played he was the most crucial aspect to us winning the game. But Minivan, go ahead, Tim. I'm gonna give Minivan some props too because he came to ball tonight.
Okay. Well, before we begin, I just want to say I like Mark Jackson on the game way better than Ala Abdenabi.
Put Mark Jackson and Ala together because that girl still throws off. I don't even know her name, and I don't want to know her name.
I think her name was.
Let me not be vicious. Let me be nice. Let me be nice. She lacks a certain amount of enthusiasm when it she's too. Go ahead. No, speak your piece. I'll come back to her. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Anyway, I enjoyed Mark on the program today. I thought he did a great job. He's a real basketball player. I like the stories he was telling, everything. To me, it was fun listening to him. It was a change. Like, he don't do nothing for me as far as on the broadcast. But outside of that, just to dive into the game, Tobias Harris had a triple-double. That was the weakest triple-double I've ever seen in my entire adult life.
He's still suffering from the side effects.
No, I'm tired. He was 3 of 12 from the floor. He was 3 of 12. That means he shot 25% from the floor. Now, granted, he went to the line 10 times. They don't count the 5 baskets that he missed because he was fouled. This is what I'm talking about. He never gets and 1 buckets. It's just going to be a foul. He's going to shoot 2 at the line. It's never going to be 2. At least out of the 5, because he had 10 free throws. At least out of the 5, at least 2 of them to me should have been an and 1 where he finished. Mm-hmm. He can't finish. He's not a finisher. That kind of irritates me about him. And then Mark Jackson on the broadcast, he said, back in school. He was a little chubby boy. He was one of them fat boys. I was like, that's it. Ding, ding.
Yeah, Toby. I mean, that's Toby. Like, I like the fact that he was still aggressive, though. That's what I do like. Yeah, you off. He was missing some easy shot. He missed one joint where B kind of threw him a little lob, and all he had to do was just tap it in.
Yeah.
Remember Happy Gilmore just do the ball,
just
tap it in.
Exactly.
That's what he had to do, and he flat out missed the joint. And I'm like, come on, Toby. Like, that's the stuff that you gotta make, bro. You ain't no little dude. You 6'7", 6'8" area.
Exactly.
Come on, man. Just tap it in. So I agree with you. I mean,
he had 18 points, but this is the weakest 18. But like, I watched every game. He shot 3 of 25, 3 of 12. That's 25%. You can't change it. 25% from the floor, and he had no and one baskets. That means the refs was giving him some cooking because he usually he's not even going to the line that many times. He went to the line 10 times. The refs ain't gonna give him that. Any other time, he's not gonna get to the line 10 times. He was fortunate. They looked out for him.
But at the same time too, though, he kept going. He forced the refs to make a call because at several plays he went hard and they ain't called nothing. So, I mean, he was being aggressive. I do agree with her with that. Mark keep calling him soft, but
he's soft.
I'm not going to say he's soft because soft to me is a dude who always just going to take jump shots. Like, he just going to hit the little fadeaway. Soft is like John Simons. Simons to me was a soft player. Like he tried and everything, but I agree with you with Toby. He's not a finisher. He's not a great finisher at the rim, especially when contact happens. He's barely a good finisher when there is no
contact when he by himself.
So now with contact, like you said, he ain't an N1 dude. He not getting no N1. But that to me is not necessarily a soft dude, but he's just not good at finishing at the rack. But he was aggressive. I love the fact that he took over 12 shots. He took probably about 17 shots to go to the line 10 times. He probably attempted at least 17 to 18 shots. That's good.
But here's the thing. He was sticking the ball Chris Boucher, and Chris Boucher just lit us up like he always do when he play against Tobias Harris.
Tobias like defense, dude. I agree.
So like to the ball Chris Boucher was just shooting our head off. He had 5 3-pointers during the game. 5 3-pointers. You don't even be getting off like that. That's not his that's not what he do on a regular basis. But Chris Boucher was like out there like Bobby Boucher. That ball was.
I mean, he was balling. He balled. But I mean, we know Toby ain't no defensive specialist either. That's why I do want a little bit more from him on the offense because it ain't like he clamping nobody on defense like that. Exactly. I mean, his boards are solid. You know, he get probably 7-8 rebounds a game somewhere around there. But I mean, hopefully going forward, them shots start falling. I guess at this point we got to realize, like I always say with Ben, he is what he is. So, I mean, hey, look.
He is what I don't want.
At least he made the free throw. He made some clutch free throws at the end of the game.
I'll give him this. He made his free throws down the stretch. Yay. But defensively, he's stuck.
He's a hater. Oh, man. They said, what was I saying? I agree. I think somebody made the comment, it was a D market. Yeah, D market. He's talking about B. He said he was even seeing triple teams tonight. And I agree. They definitely, obviously, every team, just like any other really good player, your focal point is going to be on them. Embiid is a little bit easier to corral because where he gets the ball at for the most part. I think that's why a lot of times you see B try to hang out around the 3 line because I think he's just tired of always, as soon as he gets the ball, everybody corralling to him at one time. So I think at certain points in his mind, he just wants the space to be able to maybe get the mid-range going or take a 3, which he was good tonight. Hit 2 for 3, hit a huge 3 coming down the stretch and like 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Huge 3. But I think that's why sometimes he lingers out down there. But when he went down there tonight, he was effective. He was quick with it. He had some couple putbacks off an offensive rebound, like 2 of them. Off of Tobias misses. Matter of fact, I know one of them was off of Tobias miss. Maxey didn't play well tonight. He was only he was 2 for 11. That's not good.
I don't know if he's still suffering. I don't know if he's still suffering from that bruise. But he had a thigh bruise.
Yeah, something like hip bruise or something. Yeah,
maybe. On top, But on top of that, you know what, his home burning down the other day. So I'm giving him a pass now. He gets a legitimate pass because he struggled. He gets a legit pass, but he struggled a lot today too. But I'm gonna see how he do Thursday against Brooklyn. But Embiid, I gotta give Embiid his props. He did play well.
Thank you. Because you want to hate. I can see the hate in your eyes.
I am going to hate a little bit, though. I am going to hate a little bit. Because
okay. Go ahead. Let everybody, we got about 50 people listening. Go ahead.
All right. Here's what I'm going to say. All right. You know Golden State. I know you're a fan of Golden State. You know how their offense works where it don't, like Steph don't always got to be the one that's going off. Sometimes it's Poole. Sometimes it's, what's the ball name? Wiggins. It could be anybody that's going off, but they have a system that the system works. With Embiid in that third quarter, he shot 50. He took 15 of the first 18 shots. He made 15 of the first 18 points. It looked like everything was just going through him, and it just let everybody else wasn't involved. And he was getting all. And I know he was hype, and I know he was hot. But I like to see the offense really focus on the team. And if you're getting off within the team, that's fine. But it seemed like it was just more so he was just like trying to eat and not let everybody else eat. I thought that was kind of a little selfish. I think that's how they got back into the game. And then once he set back out, we went up by 10 because everybody else got more involved in the offense. I'm just saying that's how I look at it.
All right, let's and I agree with Easy. Easy Money says it's no way Tim can hate, but. They're there. Slow down. Tim is hating.
I stand corrected.
Tim is hating. Let's look at the box cheats though. Thibault 3 for 7, Tobias 3 for 12, Curry 3 for 8, Maxey 2 for 11. The only dude, it was 3 dudes who played well this game. Niang 7 for 10, Korkmaz 4 for 9, Joel 11 for 16. So you can pop all this Embiid every day played well when he got. I'm not even sure who was necessarily at that point in the game for Toronto when we made this run. I mean, was that they second-tier Bulls? I know they was missing Van Fleet and like 2 other dudes or something. They was a little bit depleted. So without B in this game, you relying on Tobias to carry us or Maxey who was off? Nah, I like Maxey. I'm huge on Maxey. Yeah. B is the end-all, be-all to this team. I'm glad Niang off his second game back from the protocol, played exceptionally well.
He did.
Hustle, knocked the 3 down. He was 5 for 8 from 3, 7 for 10 overall. Balled out. I'm very, very impressed with him all around as an all-around player. Niang has showed me a lot. And I'm liking that. So no hating on B tonight.
All right. I'll let him live. I let him breathe a little bit. I'm just saying though, the first in the third quarter, he pretty much scored 15 of the first 18 points. That's not a lot of balance. It's not a lot of balance. And it was
he had to. Nobody was scoring. Nobody was scoring.
Nobody was.
Thibault can't. Or you want to talk about somebody finish at the go ahead or what?
Or nobody was allowed to shoot.
Okay, but Thibault, when you saw Thibault, that's what I'm talking about. And I'm not, Thibault does what he does very well in that defense. But I do want to see him make a little bit more progression offensive. There was one play, he crossed somebody over, went to the hole, looked pretty decent, tried to go with the left hand, but the finish wasn't there. The joint came off the left hand. Incredible. He actually had the angle to make an easy left hand layup.
He did.
But it came off the backboard incredibly hard. So once again, I'm just saying his offensive game is not as polished as we will hope it will be. And this is his 3rd year, right, with the Sixers. So we want to see him progress a little bit more to be able to help the team, especially when you're getting 36 minutes a game. 36 minutes a game. That's a lot of time, bro.
And to your point, it was only 2 players that under the plus minus is only 2 players that was a minus while they was on the court. And it was Thibault and Embiid. Everybody else was a plus when they was out there on the court, which kind of proves my point where I said that others get each other, everybody else get each other involved.
No, because B was playing mostly with the starters.
And all the starters was a plus besides Thibault.
No, it wasn't. Our best pluses was Korkmaz off the bench with 7, Niang with 12, Max was only a 1, Curry was a 4, and Tobias was a 1. So that ain't telling me nothing. All that's telling me is the bench Bulls, when they came in, played exceptionally well and better than the starters.
But Embiid was a minus.
JoJo.
Embiid was a -4, and Dive was a -6. Everybody else was on the plus side.
See, and I agree with Mark. He said Todd mad because Joel Embiid took over. This is the darned if you do, darned if you don't.
I'm not mad. I'm just saying for us to be a balanced team, we're gonna need just everybody to be involved in the offense. That's what I'm saying.
Sometimes the superstar gotta be a superstar. I'm not mad at that. Sometimes the superstar I do want, more often than not, to me, B is ready to pass the ball. As a matter of fact, late in the fourth quarter, he passed a lot. That play where Tobias, where I talk about B with the putback, he passed that on Tobias like 2 or 3 times, and Tobias finally drives, misses, and then Beat is there for the putback to get the bucket to really help seal the win. So he was past the right. How many assists he had? He had like 5 assists, 4 or 5 assists this game. 4 assists, 11 rebounds, 4 assists, and only 2 turnovers. Tobias, on the other hand, had 4 turnovers. Tobias actually had 10 assists, which was solid, but he got most of the assists off of Joel Embiid going to work and probably minivan. But I'm not hating. There ain't no way I'm hating on the superstar taking over and doing what superstars supposed to do. That's what he's supposed to do. And I applaud that man. That's what you should be doing. Instead of hating, you should be congratulating.
Right, you're right.
Here on in your bag because you love to hate. You want to hate on the ball, JoJo, so bad, and you can't do it. I'm happy.
Miz, I saw Doc Rivers get mad at Key Pompey. It just went off on my television. It was kind of funny. The ball, Doc Rivers basically said that was a stupid question.
That was a dumb question. I thought it was I don't think it was. These Bulls are NBA players. They're a good coach team. They have a coach who has won a championship, so they're a championship pedigree team or coach team rather. And they had a couple players from on a roster who wasn't a championship. They get paid too. These dudes is trying to earn their keep. Like these dudes trying to get names for themselves. They practice in the gym. They go to practice. They practicing in the off season. They doing their own little personal drills, working out, becoming better shooters and all that kind of stuff like that, becoming better players. They plan to win. So anytime you step on that NBA court, I think he said something to the effect that don't you think you should have won by more or something like that. Man, a win is a win. I'm taking a win. I don't care who's out there against me. So I don't think that was a good question.
He said Keith asked if Doc is concerned that they did not beat the COVID depleted Raptors by 20 points. And he was like, that's a dumb question. He said, he was like, it's a dumb question. He said, the other teams, when they beat us and we was losing by 1 and 2 points a game. Remember those? We was playing them real tight down the stretch and they won. They didn't go in the locker room and say, you should have beat them by 20, 30 points. I hate the fact that he played Keith like that, but that was a dumb question.
Remember that same week, we lost to, when Joel Embiid went out, we lost to Milwaukee, Toronto, and it was some else, I think like the Bulls or something. We lost to it was like a total of like 8 points. We lost them games. We was in them games all the way to the bitter end. Milwaukee, we should have beat Milwaukee and we should have beat the Raptors. I think, if I'm not mistaken, it was that same week because that was the games I think we went to. You think Milwaukee was
they didn't care
because they got a 3-point victory? Yeah, so it's like I ain't feeling that question at all. I'm not liking that. I take the win. I'm good with that. But back real quick, back to my point about the girl, the announcer. Bro, I can't with her, man. I can't. They need Mark Jackson and the other dude. I would rather have Mark and Allah. Or Mark and the dude who does, what's his name? I can't remember his name. The one who does the Sixers sports radio.
Okay, yeah, because they're not, neither one of them, they're not play-by-play. You need a play-by-play announcer, then you need somebody that's going to just pretty much.
But she do too much. Like, she give too many unnecessary details. Like when the coach from Toronto challenged the that call when that bounce, the foul call on Toby when he challenged it. She was like, Like before he went to commercial, she was like, "Yeah, you see the green light there? He's challenging." I'm like, "What? Like he's like you telling me stuff I see? Just say he's challenging it." It's like the green light right on the sideline of Toronto, and they're I'm like, "Stop with this." She do that. Oh, she's not good.
It's like watching the game with your girl.
It's even worse because at least wifey don't say nothing. She just ask me what's happening, and I tell her. It's the worst. She needs to be doing something like bowling or golf, something that requires you to add a little bit more detail than
or the WNBA. The WNBA got plenty of openings.
I agree with yeah, that too. Ephraim, Mark said, "I'm done with Shorty when she started. She's just not good. She's not good at all. It brings down the quality content of the broadcast to me. It's terrible. But I don't think she'll be here after this year, to be honest with you. I don't, but we'll see what happens.
I think you're right. She does announce like the radio. You know how the radio, you gotta be very descriptive, like everything, because you're trying to create that image for the listener. They can't see anything. She may be good for radio.
Maybe that, you know what? That's a solid point. That's a fair point. Let me give Niang some props again, because we might not have talked about him enough because he came up huge with some huge threes.
He did.
Some huge hustle. He was scrapping. He was all over. That's one thing I will say about Niang. Even the games he didn't shoot well, he always showed a good amount of hustle. He banged. He not afraid to bang. He got a little weight. He's solid ball, and he'll go in there and get busy for rebounds and loose balls and all that stuff. And his shooting tonight, they interviewed and they said, asked him about his shooting. He was like, "Well, I better shoot. That's what they brought me here for." He said, "Also, I'm going to be on the bench." Nice. So he's self-aware, real ball, man. I wish you could take his brain, right?
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
You can lobotomize this ball and take his brain out and open Ben head up and just drop that joint right in the Ben Simmons, bro. He'd be a monster. He'd be the greatest sixer of all time. He will bar none.
Because Ben got all the other intangibles. He just need. Oh, he need to see the wizard. He need heart.
Tom McGinnis, thank you, Mello MD. That's his name. Tom. I love when he subbed in for her that one time when it was Tom McGinnis and Ala. I thoroughly enjoyed listening to the game. That joint was on point.
And Doc with this the lineup what he had when he had Thibault, Paul Reed, Niang, Furkan, and Tyler Johnson. When he ran those five out, actually they didn't look as bad as I thought they was going to look, but I think that's a recipe for disaster. If you try that again on Thursday, you got to leave at least two of your starters in there. You got to leave two of your starters. Did you notice that Embiid actually played the entire first quarter? Because he usually come out with like 4 minutes left, but he played the entire first quarter. I don't know if they're trying something different. I wonder if that's something they're going to continue, because all the starters actually played the entire first quarter. I don't know if they were trying to see if they could just blow this team out and then sit everybody in the fourth quarter. I don't know what they was thinking because they were so undermanned. But I saw that Doc mixed that up a little bit this game, so I don't know.
I think coaches try that a little bit. I know watching Golden State the way I do. I know Kerr tried to do that sometimes where he'd play Kerr a whole quarter and then rest him early or play him half. Like I know early last year he was consistent. He'll play Kerr the whole first quarter and then he'll rest him a little bit. And now this year he kind of switched it up some. But I don't know. I think you kind of base it off what you know how your player look probably, or your team looking in practice, or like you said, maybe a philosophy you want to try to go with this game and play them and see if you could get that big lead and then rest them up. But yeah. I mean, what I will say, B for the most part, he been playing. Like even a couple games, we had a couple back-to-backs. I didn't think he was going to play, and he still played. So I've been thoroughly impressed with how much he's been playing, especially when you see other big boys like Anthony Davis always on the sideline, Mr. Glassing it up.
I know.
no disrespect.
They trying to see who's the biggest glass man in the league between him and Anthony Davis. Because they both always fragile.
But he been playing. But that's my point, though. This year, though, outside of the COVID games, for the most part, I think he only missed maybe like 2 games outside of the COVID restrictions.
I think they have another injury or something. This
year?
Yeah, maybe.
There's been so many games. I just remember mainly him missing the COVID. I think he missed like one for like a foot or something. You know what I mean? But for the most part, Embiid been playing his games. I'm not mad at B. Somebody asked about Tyler Johnson. What you think about him? The light skin, the fake
fake light skin Steph
Curry. The fake. What you think?
That's the problem with the Sixers. The Sixers got too many light skin boys on their team. He's too soft. It's soft. You can't have too many light skin boys on your team. It makes everybody soft. Real weak. You need the street boys. I mean, you got Tobias Harris, Ben.
It depends on. I mean, because it depends on. It's all about your mentality to me. Like you got Niang, where Niang, he go hard. You got some boys who go.
I don't even know what Niang is.
No, Niang don't know what Niang is, but Niang go hard. Niang go hard. And then you got B-Ball Paul, who tries to, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know what's up with dude. Like Mark asked what we think about him. I'm a reserved comment. I'm not going to go either way on him because he's still young. I know he's been in and out the G League this year. They trying to get him. They giving him chances. In all fairness to him and the coaching staff, they're trying to really see what they got because every time they send him out to the G League, he looked like an all-star down that joint. He looking like Kevin Durant, popping threes and everything. Then he come up here, he looking like, yo, where's your game? Did you pack your game?
Like I left it at the
Yeah, like where's that joint at? So I'm gonna preserve a little comment. Tyler Johnson, same thing. He had 11 minutes. A lot of these dudes, I think they see. This is the mindset sometimes that separates your mid-level dudes from your great dudes. A lot of these dudes, I think, is scared to make mistakes. So they try to play as cautious as they can just so they can live to fight another day, so they can stay on the roster. Like these dudes know that they NBA life could be going real fast, so I think they try to toe the line. But sometimes you just got to have to do like I mean, Maxey was different. He was a first-round draft pick, so he could come in there a little bit with the kind of let me go ahead and go off because y'all drafted me high. You're not going to give up on me. But sometimes even as a lower tier pick or sign a 10-day contract dude, sometimes you just got to go all out, man. Like, look, I'm going to start jacking, and if I make it, I'm going to make it. And if I don't, I'm going to go out in a blaze of glory.
Yeah. Well, what do you think the fact that the boy Tyler Johnson actually got minutes and Isaiah Joe can't even – I mean –
That's true. That
says a lot about Isaiah Joe, the fact that Tyler Johnson came in and has earned the trust of Doc Rivers, and Isaiah Joe been in with the 2 years, and he still can't do nothing.
That's a little concern to me, but especially for the fact that he's been trying to work with Isaiah Joe. Like in all intents and purposes, Isaiah Joe. I think he had, what game did he play? One of them games recently, he played pretty well. I think the Washington game might have been his undoing. He had, but see, my thing is, look, all right, look, if you look back, Isaiah Joe had 25 minutes against Brooklyn. The next game, 26 minutes against Boston. And guess how many points he got in those two games?
I know one of them he had one.
Exactly. One he had one he had zero. He was 0 for 4, 0 for 2. The next game against Atlanta, he had 13 minutes, went 0 for 4. And then against Washington, 7 minutes, 0 for 3. I think that might have been kind of now. At a certain point, you got to say, all right, look, I'm not saying we done with you, but let's see what this other dude got. Because we giving you quality minutes and you ain't producing.
And you're not stepping up. And unfortunately, I was rooting for you. I was rooting for the young boy, but that's only but so much you could take.
Somebody said Jawan Q said New Angle's from Senegal, and he's half white. Okay. All right. So they certified, I guess he's like a hybrid light-skinned bull. Who
from Senegal?
Niang.
Oh, okay.
So he go hard. That's what I'm saying.
So he one of y'all.
Listen, my point is that the mentality, man, he go in. He don't play. I love that. I love that about Niang. Mark Jackson was loving Niang. He said, yo, I really like this dude a lot. Mark Jackson, he impressed with how hard he go. And I'm good with that. I'm good with it. But who we got next?
We got next? Brooklyn. Brooklyn is going to be, if we can get Brooklyn,
I might be.
Yeah, and KD's gonna be back, and Harden is gonna be playing. So you got KD, Harden both be
Is
playing.
Kyrie back yet? Oh, it's in Brooklyn, so he can't play.
He can't play, but he is officially back. He's coming in the new year. He'll be able to play. But I want to see what we do against Brooklyn.
We'll see. Steph got to step up a little too, because Steph's game was a little suspect tonight. But he was 3 for 8. I mean, what he had 12 points or something like that.
Yeah.
I guess I can't listen. If you give me that with a little better shooting, I'm not mad at you neither. But I still think we got to get a point guard. We do. Somebody mentioned earlier what's up with the Ben trade. I still think we got to get. I think they trying Tyler Johnson to see if he could be a little bit of a facilitator, come off the bench. What's up with Shake? Is Shake still
taking the COVID protocol? I think
in the protocol still.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, so we miss a Shake. Shake off the bench, I think, is a decent point guard off the bench. I still think we need a legit starter. Seth needs to go to the bench. Maxey needs to start the shooting, and we need a legit point guard. That's what needs to happen.
All right. Before we got to hear, did you hear about Karl Anthony Towns, what he had to say about Russell Westbrook? He was on a little podcast this week, and they asked him about what do you think about Westbrook? And they said, is he a stat chaser? He said he called him a stat chaser. And they kind of ruffled his feathers.
Draymond?
Yeah, Draymond. I think Draymond should have minded his own business, but Draymond jumps in it. Like, I was on the court one time, and he was still out there. We was blowing him out 20 points. First of all, is Westbrook a stat chaser?
Yes, I've been saying this.
It doesn't say. I believe it's true too.
I've been saying this. Which McCall talked about it on a little bit. I heard Skip and Shannon talk about it, and he kind of agreed with both. He said, like, Draymond, he fine with Draymond sticking up for his man, but he also fine with Cat saying what he said. And I kind of agree with Skip. Skip said, "Yo, this is a classic example of shooting a messenger." I normally don't agree with Skip, to be honest with you, but I absolutely agree with him in this case because he's right. He is right. It was nothing wrong about what he said. He said, because he actually said that he didn't completely trash him. He said, I think he's a great player. Yeah. He said, but he stat chases and he plays too fast.
He plays too quick. He does too much. But he think he's a great player. Those triple doubles. And it's true.
I agree. Listen, I've seen this dude in OKC try to jump in front of Adams, they center, just to grab rebounds. And I'm like, yo, slow down. Like, he do that all the time. Like, Ben, your boy Ben was a little bit like that too. Remember Ben ran into
one time.
He ran into Joel B.
It was one time, and y'all will let him live it down.
Bill, get out my way.
That's because Embiid was being so stingy and he usually do.
he almost hurt B trying to get a rebound. But
he did. That was the one time he was alone.
It was the one time. It was the one time. But whatchamacallit, I do Westbrook. That I think at worst case he could beat his chest on that. So if people come at Westbrook and be like, "Yo, you never won a ring," how many championships you've been to, this, that, and third, he could say, well, I got an MVP and I had a triple double for 3 straight years. Yeah. Like that in his mind validates him as an NBA player.
Yeah.
I mean, at a certain point, I can't be mad at that because you are what you are. But I mean, with Westbrook, what Cat said was the truth. I'm not hating on Cat. And Cat having a very good year. So, because Draymond going to try to come back and say something about Cat. He saw him in the game down 20 with Golden State and still in the game with 2 minutes left trying to get stats and all this. Yo, is Cat having a great year? I'm not even mad at Cat.
You can't even be mad at the Bull Cat right now.
I'm not mad.
He bought his chick a nice vehicle to a Porsche. That joint was nice.
He still messed with what's the girl?
Jordan Sutton.
That's the one he used to mess with the Bull. Whatchamacallit, right? Sure. They used to mess with the Kardashian baby father Bull, Tristan Thompson.
They accused her. That was an accusation, but it wasn't. She said it wasn't true.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah,
okay.
But she said that they accused her and they pretty much shunned her. But she doing good. She came up.
Yeah, I mean it's a good pick for her. Thank you, Dean Caps. I agree with you. He said Kate Scott. That's her name. I try not to commit her name to memory. No, I'm not going to do that. Kate Scott. I'm gonna get this woman my respect. Kate Scott and Ala gotta go. I agree. They're not good. I've been saying about Ala and Mark last year. Even though I like Mark Zumov, I just felt it was time to get some fresh announcers in there.
Catchphrases was kind of like we coming in for a landing and all that. Like it was dated. It was like real 90s. Like, okay, we understand. Now let's move on. Let's get something fresh in here.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. What I will say, I the only other network I do listen to, obviously, is Golden State, and their announcers ain't that good neither. They got one dude, I forget his name. He African. He used to play. I think he used to play for Golden State for a minute, or he played in the NBA for like a quick couple of years, but he not good. And the other dude they got is okay. So, I mean, the best announcers really is the national broadcast dude.
Mark Jackson.
Mark Jackson. I like Reggie Miller and the other dude. I forget a lot of their names, but Reggie Miller, I think I love him as an announcer. Mark Jackson, the dude, Kevin Harlan. Yeah. You got some iconic dudes on some of them national broadcasts who I really like.
I agree. The national broadcast, but ours right now leaves a lot to be desired right now.
No, Mark Zumov had to go. His time was up. I like Zumov and everything, but it was time. It was getting redundant. It was like Andy Reid tenure here with the Eagles. It was time. Yeah, time. It was a wrap.
Also, before we leave, a little shout out to John Madden. Lost a treasure. Speaking of announcers and play-by-play boys, him and what was his name?
Pat Summerall.
That tandem probably was the best that ever did it.
Yeah, they was legendary.
Yeah, so I mean, he lived to be 85, so he lived a nice full life. So shout out to him and his family.
Speaking of Madden, I'm still going down on record as one of the top 10 probably Madden players in the Philadelphia area of all time. All time. I was in a couple Madden leagues, went to a couple championships. I actually never won one because when I never played it, we never had a chance to play it. I never won the official one-game championship, that league I was in. But I went back to back. The first one I lost by a touchdown. The second one, I forget what happened. We never got a chance to play the championship game. But I played against some monsters. I played against some very good all-time Madden players in this area, and I was always one of the top ranked. Easy. You can tell. You can ask Ethan and Wayne how he used to spank up on them when they come back on the next show.
Turning garbage into gold. That's another one. Somebody Dean Capes.
Yeah, turning garbage into gold. Yeah. No, but it's a good win. Glad we got the win. We needed it bad. Where does that put us now in the rankings? We had 18 and 16.
Number 6.
We moving up. We was number 8 just last week. So we trend in the right direction. We 5-5 in our last 10 games. We got to get that a little better though. Yeah. But the next Bulls.
Please tell us what you think, and just leave a comment and subscribe, and hit that notification button. Don't forget, this is the Uncensored Philly Sports Podcast.